All right, we are now in the last bit of our session. On behalf of MIDC, Dr. Vipin Sharma will present a memento to Mr. Vikram Singh Mehta. And on behalf of the Lalit Doshi Memorial Foundation, I request Mrs. Pratima Doshi to present a memento to Mr. Vikram Singh Mehta. I now request Dr. Vipin Sharma, Chief Executive Officer, MIDC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody. It is indeed a proud and privileged moment for me to deliver the vote of thanks on the occasion of 28th Lalit Doshi Memorial Lecture. Present on this occasion, Mrs. Pratima Doshi, Chairperson of the Foundation, Mr. Bharat Doshi, Trustee, other trustees of the Foundation, members of Doshi family, Ambassador Shri Vijay Nambiar Sir, Trustee, Chairperson CSEP, Shri Vikram Singh Mehta Sir, award winners of LDMF and MIDC awards of today, distinguished guests and attendees of today's lecture, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. न हार्यम न भाज्यम न च भारकारी व्यय कृते वर्धनम एव नित्यम विद्याधनम सर्वधन प्रधानम. This shloka aptly summarizes the life and journey of Shri Lalit Doshi. This shloka means the wealth of knowledge is the supreme wealth, as it can't be stolen, can't be shared, and it never feels heavy on the shoulders to carry. And when spent well, it always keeps growing. The personal and professional life of Shri Lalit Doshi was an epitome of intellect and knowledge. His legacy is aptly carried forward by the foundation since all these years. I thank the trustees and the organizers of today's lecture, Mrs. Pratima Doshi for guiding this program for all these years, Shri Vijay Nambiar for introducing Shri Lalit Doshi to us and showing some glimpses of his life in civil services as well as his personal life. Shri Vikram Singh Mehta, Sir, your lecture was very intellectually stimulating, and I think it leaves more questions than you tried to answer, if I may say so. The underlying theme, energy Atmanirbharta, is the theme of the hour. Access to all of affordable, clean and efficient energy, and how do we achieve this? How emerging international order is affecting international energy markets. That was also something which is very surprising, because we always think nothing is going to happen sitting in this part of the world when something else is happening in some other part of the world. So few insights from today's talk. Climate change is real and it is happening right now, right here. It has implications for India's energy security. Geopolitics and international order affect energy Atmanirbharta apart from traditional demand and supply. Supply chain vulnerability can benefit India, especially in the background of Russia-Ukraine conflict, because India is fast emerging as an alternative center in the international supply chain. This also is vetted by the fact that we keep getting a lot of requests for logistics warehousing in Maharashtra. So post-Russian Ukraine conflict, this is something which is a positive development for India. And sir, especially again, the question and answer session highlighted this, that for decades to come, India's energy needs are going to be dependent on coal, petroleum and gas. We may not like to think about that, but that is a reality which we need to live with. So the takeaways from today's talk, there is a need to perforate the silos, to have comprehensive energy policy, a statutory status to energy security, a very, very forward-moving thought, identifying the skill gap and taking measures to upskill our technical workforce before it becomes a scarcity issue in the future, and far-sightedness on the part of state and government. Sir, I thank you heartily for delivering this lecture and sharing your wise experience of so many years before us. Sir, this is a very complicated sector. We may like to read about it, we may like to discuss about it, but somebody like you, he can tell us a lot in this 40 minutes, what we can gather on our own of many hours of reading or discussion. So I thank you once again on behalf of the Foundation and MIDC. I am personally privileged to be in the position which was once adorned by Shri Lalit Doshi in his illustrious career in the IAS. MIDC will always be a proud associate of the Foundation in furthering and perpetuating the memory of Shri Lalit Doshi and his life. I hope to see another distinguished speaker next year and hope to see all of you next year. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Before we conclude today's program, on behalf of the trustees of the Foundation, I wish to thank all of you for joining us today. It has been a pleasure to engage with you all in person once again after 2 years. I request everyone to kindly join us for refreshments organized outside the hall to your right side. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful evening.